Hi, and welcome to another DIY Why Don't You? Today we're going to make some resealable lid covers that I found on Pinterest, so you can decide for yourself if it works as well as something you've seen on Pinterest. You can see that it does actually mold to the bowl with just the heat of my hand. And this is just by adding wax to fabric. You can see where I've added it to this bandana. And you can definitely see where it's been melted in. So let's talk about some of the things that we'll need for this particular project. First off, we're going to need parchment paper. Not wax paper, parchment paper. We also need an iron set to cotton. That works best. And wax. In this case, I'm using wax pellets. I know that shaving a bar of wax would probably be better, but this is what I have, so this is what we're using. To get started, we're going to get our brand new bandana out. It wouldn't be a bad idea to give it a wash since you're going to be putting it on food, but for the purposes of this video, we're just going to start where we are. And we're working within that square I just pointed out because that's plenty big for a nice big bowl. That'll be a nice big cover for that. But I want to get these wrinkles out because I did just take this out of the package. So I'm going to give it a quick iron. You want to work with 100% cotton fabric because you don't have to worry about it melting along with the wax that you put on it. And beeswax is nice and natural, of course, so it's going to work well with fabric. It bonds with the fabric to make it seal well, and it doesn't let air and liquid through. Okay, so let's lay down our piece of parchment paper. You don't want to ruin your ironing board cover. And then we're going to put the kerchief on top of that, bandana, whatever you want to call it. Smooth it out. Make sure you know your work area. Like I say, I'm working in that one center square. Then I'm going to take my wax pellets that I have actually chopped into smaller pieces. You can see that they've been chopped. I had to put them in a freezer and then chop them up to make them smaller, and I'm just sprinkling them around the area that I want to use. Okay, when you're happy with the scatter, nice and even throughout, you're going to cover that with another piece of parchment paper. And then you're going to begin ironing over the top of that paper. Take it nice and slow because you want to saturate the portion of fabric that you are trying to get all waxy to become your resealable cover. You can actually see it through the paper. You can see it looks wet, and you just want to make sure that the entire area that you're trying to cover looks wet like that. That'll tell you that it's been saturated. Make sure you get all the corners, every bit of the area you want to melt. Be thorough. Take your time. Then when you're satisfied on this side, to avoid wax buildup, we're going to actually flip this over and just give it a quick pass over on the other side to make sure that both sides are melted evenly. And then I'm going to remove the paper, and you can see a little change in color and how you can see through it better where it's been waxed. I'm going to show you that here. So you can't really see through just the fabric as well as you can through the part that's been waxed. You see my fingers there. So that's a good indication that it's well saturated. And once it's cool, it'll be ready to use. The heat of your hands will mold it to whatever bowl or other container you might want to use it on. So let's try that here. In my nice big bowl, and then I'm just going to press, and the heat of my hands makes it take the shape of the rim of that bowl. But I really want it to stay on there. Let's say there's something in there that I really want to protect. I don't want it to slosh out. Well, I am going to just use a rubber band to hold it on, because I don't have to worry about air getting in or liquid escaping out. That wax is going to keep it in, but I want it to stay on there securely, so I am using a rubber band. That's not bad. I mean, Pinterest didn't let me down on this one completely. I'm pretty pleased. And once you take it off, you see all those wrinkles from working with it, just like wax paper gets wrinkled really easily. Well, now you can wash this. I would say use cold water and Dawn or soap to just rinse off really well on both sides. But I want to get those wrinkles out. So that's a really easy fix. I'm just going to put it back on my parchment paper. Make sure that you have the waxy sides to the bandana. And I'm just going to give it a quick pass with a nice warm iron again. And darned if it doesn't make it just brand new again. Then you just let it cool and it'll be like wax paper again, but where you can actually mold it to the shape you want it to be. Not bad. I'm pretty happy with this particular project, and I hope that you enjoy making these for yourself. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next month.